Hi, I'm Elise from Trusted Site. Welcome to our new video series where we'll be evaluating the trustworthiness of e-commerce sites from around the internet. If you own an e-commerce site or if you manage one, it's important to consider how your website is perceived by your visitors, especially first-time visitors who may not have any familiarity with your brand or your company. And so that's really what our goal here is today, is to help you look at your website from the perspective of a newcomer who's trying to decide whether or not they trust your site enough to make a purchase. And hopefully from that point of view, you'll be able to take a look at your site and decide whether or not you're doing enough to earn visitor trust. And then you can figure out what you need to do to give your visitors the confidence to make a purchase. So how this is going to work is with each video, we'll walk through a typical customer journey on a different e-commerce site. And as we progress through each stage, we'll be looking for signs that indicate whether or not the site is trustworthy. We've divided the journey up into 13 different categories and created a set of benchmarks for each of those. For each benchmark that the site meets, they'll be given 1 point, and at the end, we'll tally up all the points and determine whether or not the site is trustworthy. So let's jump into this. So the site that we're looking at today is sierradesigns.com. And they sell high-performance camping and backpacking gear. I personally am not a camper or a backpacker. I've never been in my life, I'm sad to say. So I'm not a customer of theirs. I've never visited their site before. So this will be my first time going through it. I actually found this site through a list on the Oberlo blog of e-commerce sites with amazing design. So I do have some high expectations here. But it'll be interesting to see if there are some areas where we can find some areas of improvement for trust building. So right off the bat here, we have a pop-up, says sign up and save. So it's just a standard email collection form. In my opinion, it's a little bit early to be asking a visitor for their email address, even in exchange for a 10% off coupon, because I'm a first timer. I don't know this company very well yet, and I'm not sure if my email address is going to be safe. So we'll go ahead and close that. We won't deduct them any points for that. They also have the cookies message here. We'll accept all cookies. Before we dive into the homepage, let's take a look at a couple off-page things. So first and foremost, we have the domain name, which looks clean. You know, it's the standard company name. And no typos, nothing suspicious there, so we'll give them a point. It also looks like they have an SSL certificate, which you can see by the lock icon in the browser bar here. It says that our connection is secure and they are using a valid SSL certificate. So that means that any information that I input into the website will be encrypted and protected. So moving on, additionally, another off-page thing here is the metadata, the page title, which is Sierra Designs, backpacking tents, sleeping bags, outdoor, ... That kind of helps with SEO, and that all looks clean, no typos. So we'll give them a point for that. Let's see if the page is responsive. It looks like it is. When you shrink down to like a mobile standard size, the design reformats, and it looks like it has a pretty modern design here. So we'll give them points for that as well. We can next move on to the next category, which is floating. So far, I'm not seeing any floating items, no trust marks, no reviews widgets, nothing like that. So we won't give them any points for that. So that's definitely one area where they could possibly improve, is to maybe add a trust mark, just so that some visitors, first-time visitors especially, get a little bit of extra reassurance that the site is safe to be on. Anyway, we'll move past the floating category and move on to the header. So the first thing I have here in the header is contact information, which you can't see off the bat. Sometimes some companies will hide it kind of within the menu. So we can take a look here to see if that pops up anywhere, but I'm not seeing it. So we won't give them points for that. They do have a high resolution logo, which looks great. It looks like they have account login right here, this little person icon. So that's good. And then they have an About Us page and a Contact Us page. Looks like they have Reach Out, which isn't exactly word for word Contact Us, but I'm assuming that's the same type of idea for that page. So we can give them a point for that. Let's go on to the next category, which is footer. We scroll down here. This looks like a pretty standard footer. We have the contact information at the bottom here, phone number, fax, email address, physical address. All those look great, so we'll give them points for that. They do have a copyright. It doesn't include a date, which is good because it doesn't show an out of date like 2019 or 2020 or something. It's now 2021. So no harm there. So we'll give them a point. They do have terms and conditions right here, terms of use, and they do have their privacy policy. So we can give them points for those. I'm not seeing any trust badges, but there's definitely room to where they could add some if they would like to just kind of build a little bit of extra trust, maybe in this blank space here. And they do have their social media icons as well. That's always a great way to build trust, is to add your social profiles in your footer. So I do like that. So we'll give them points for that. Let's move on. We'll next just look at the homepage as a whole. So let's go back to the top here. Backcountry bed is back. Lighter weight, same comfort. So it looks like it's some type of sleeping bag. Might be their main product here. Pack and go for weekend adventures, pushing the limit for seasoned backpackers, awards and accolades. So it looks like these are the extent of their categories here at the top of the page. It's not really what I was expecting to see, I guess. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to get when I click through there. Oh, okay, so different collections. So we'll go ahead and give them a point for that, for the categories. So the next thing is user-generated content. Let's scroll through here and see if we can find anything. Actually, it does look like they have some social media posts. Let's see what happens if we click it. Yeah, it does look like these are user posts. It doesn't look like it's from one account, powered by Candid. So that's awesome to see real customers using their product in the wild. So that definitely instills confidence in me that these people are getting their equipment that they paid for from this website, which is great to know. Not seeing any other user-generated content here. It looks like they have a video that they made themselves, no reviews. So that's definitely something that they can consider adding, is some customer reviews in addition to the social posts, because the images are nice, but some people prefer to read things over looking at images. So something to consider. They don't lose any points for not having reviews or testimonials. But it's great that they at least have this. So they do have awards and accolades, which is great. They'll get a point for that. Best New Gear Summer 2017, Best Streetwear of 2018. Those are several years old. They have one from 2019. I would definitely start off with, and it may just be because I've been on the page for a while and it's been scrolling through the different ones, but show your most recent award first. Because if someone's seeing a 2017 award, they might think that, your product kind of out of date and you may not have been innovating since then. So, put your best foot forward, show your best, most recent awards first. Just a note on that there, but we'll give them the point anyway for having their industry awards on their homepage. And again, no other trust badges that I'm seeing or reviews widgets, so we won't give them points for that. All right, so let's take a look at a category page here. So let's try gear. And it looks like sleeping bags are one of their big items. So let's go to sleeping bags and see what this page looks like. So I'm just going to scroll through here. So they do have a place where they display their star ratings. However, it looks like the first two products here may be new and they don't have any ratings yet. So that does kind of put a little bit of doubt in my mind, wondering why they have this product. Okay, it does say new. I just missed that. So that kind of makes sense why it wouldn't have reviews yet. But this product only has one review. it looks like the highest that any product has is 16. Oh, this one has 57 reviews. So that's a decent amount. You know, they may want to change the default order of this page instead of having the new items first to maybe their highest rated products. That way people aren't seeing the no reviews first. That's just one suggestion. Though I do get that some people like seeing the new equipment first. So, you know, it's not bad, but just something else to consider doing. I don't see any shipping or returns notes, you know, about their policy, which would be great to know. Oh, I do see one out of stock. Oh, and here's an interesting symbol. I wonder what this means. I still don't know what it means. Some sort of meaningless badge symbol they have on their site. I guess it can make it look better, but it's always good to label things like that so people understand what you're trying to say. It says award. So I guess this product has one subtype of award. I don't know what. I didn't read through the page long enough to find out what it is. But that's kind of the reality is, you know, when people are shopping on your site for the first time, even if it's not their first visit, they're not always reading through every single piece of copy that you have. So you want to make sure that people can figure out what you're trying to communicate very easily. So that's something that they could consider improving. They do have their prices, which is great. They do have sort and filter at the top. I remember seeing that. Looks nice. They have their star ratings. You can sort by rating. You can sort by whether it's not it's won an award, and then you can sort, which is great. So points for that. No trust badges on this page. Something they might want to consider adding. I guess you can consider this a type of trust badge, although it's just sort of made up on their part. It's not a legit, or it's not sponsored by any third party or certified by any third party. Okay, so let's move on to a product page. So why don't we go ahead and look at one of their more reviewed products. Let's go back to the 57 reviews one. So this is an interesting shape. I've never seen this before. Nitro Quilt 800/20 degree. Okay, so 57 reviews, which is great. So they have their star rating, they have their price kind of front and center here. That's quite a steep price. This is no cheap hobby, I can see that. Let's see, if I click the reviews, will I be taken to, yes, the reviews section. Not the lightest, but most cozy quilt I've ever had. Great, they're a verified buyer, and it was a recent review, so I know that they've tested this recently. We'll know more after I camp out with it. Awesome, amazing, and unique. So overall, it sounds like everyone has great things to say about it. It does have a 5-star rating, so no surprise there. So they're definitely getting a point for that. They do have the free shipping note right here, which is great. Although they don't have an expected delivery date if I were to order it today. So that's something that they could consider adding. It might just help me, encourage me more to purchase now, you know, especially if I'm going on like a trip soon. It will indicate to buyers whether or not they'll get their purchase in time for their trip. So one thing to consider adding there. This is an apparel, so there's no size chart. It does look like they have a nice product description here. You know, they have key features, they have materials, tech specs, everything pretty much that you need to know about this product is all written out here. They do have a nice video, which is great. And then again, customer reviews at the bottom. And then they have related gear. So overall, I think this is a great product page. So we're going to go ahead and add to cart. And then before we move on to evaluate the shopping cart, why don't we take a look at the about page? just because I'm not ready quite yet to check out yet. So let's move back here. So about us, they have aspiring artists, blog, our story, our team, reach out. So I'll start with our story. Should always be reach with everyone. They have their mission here, which is great. We'll give them a point for that under company values or philosophy. Born in California, looks like this is their customer history, which is great to know. Company background. Oh yeah, here's their history. I can click to learn more about that, I'm guessing, more about their innovation and social responsibility. So that's also great. And that helps to build trust in me more in this company, knowing that, they're socially conscious. No trust badges again here, so we won't give them any points for that. Let's see, what else is on our list here? Location, born in California, so that's nice. It doesn't exactly tell me the current location, but we already had that in the footer anyway, so that's okay. Yes, we got company values and no customer logos that I'm seeing, but let's try our team page. We'll give them points for having staff profiles and their leadership team here. Favorite part of my job, I love these type of things. It kind of just makes it more personal to give more information about the employees here at the company. So let's go back up here to Dana Blanchard. He's the VP. He loves getting to work with his great teammates. And his spirit animal is a dolphin. Interesting. Cool. So great. We'll give them all the points for about page. And then let's go through to their contact us page, which we found out that I think is their reach out page here. Let's double check. Sierra, reach out, Sierra Designs, reach out. Okay, I guess I was wrong. It doesn't look like this is their contact us page. It looks more like it's like their giving back page. They're reaching out to people, which makes sense. Although now I'm at a loss of to where their contact us page is. So I guess they don't have one. So we can't give them any points for that unless there's one here maybe in their footer that we missed. Aha, there it is. So if I was going to deduct points, I would probably deduct points for that, but we're not going to be deducting points for that this time around. But they do have a contact us page. It's just not linked in their main menu for some reason. So that's definitely something to consider fixing. I think it's important to figure out or to make it just more easily accessible for people to get in touch with you. So this is nice to have a message that they may have longer response times due to COVID-19, which makes sense. And it's just kind of nice to know that up front. So I'm not, if I do decide to call, I already have the expectations set that, it may be a while before I can actually be helped. Yeah, so they have their phone number here, so we'll give them a point for that. They do have an email address. They have their physical address. Doesn't look like they have live chat. Let's see, do they have their hours of operation? Yes, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And are there any FAQs here? No, but that's okay. We just won't give them a point for that. But overall, everything I would need to potentially reach out to them is here. The one issue was that it wasn't super easy to find this page, but that's okay. We'll still give them a few points. Cool. So now that we finished the contact us page, let's move on to their login page. So I think the link to that was up here in the top in the header. So they call it sign in. Typical page, not much here, which is great. You want to focus the customer in on the action that you want them to take. They do have the forgot password sign here. It doesn't look like they have any links to sign in through a third party like Google or Facebook, which is okay, but I know a lot of people would prefer that just because they don't like creating accounts with so many different websites. And if they can log in with their Google account or Facebook account, it just makes it easier to have kind of everything in one place. So we'll give them that. I don't see any terms on this page other than the ones in the footer. So that's maybe something they want to add just to kind of bring it to the people's attention when they are signing in. So let's move on to the create account page, see what that looks like. And looks like there's a link to it right here. Okay, so new account, we need an email address, password, pretty standard stuff. I'm not a robot. Again, no terms and conditions or privacy policy here, which would be great to know before I decide to give them all of my information. It'd be nice to know what the terms are. So that's something that they should be adding here. Again, no sign in with a third-party app. And they don't really list the benefits here, although there may have been some on that previous page. I just didn't really read them. Oh yeah, here's some benefits. Check out faster, save multiple shipping addresses. Great. I guess we can give them a point for that, even though it's on a different page. All right, let's go back to the shopping cart, which you can get through on the header. So let's click View Cart. We have quite a few things here that we're looking for. So order summary, we have what the product is, the photo, the name, the price, the quantity, the total. We have the order, the grand total. We do have the price kind of breakdown, although we don't know exactly how much the shipping is going to be yet. There is a place for a coupon code, which is great. No third-party checkout. Product quantity, yes, we got that. No save for later. And no expected delivery date yet because we haven't inputted any information about where we are. And no trust badges. So there's definitely some room where they could improve this page. But overall, it's okay. It's not the worst. I do feel comfortable enough to proceed to checkout. So we are going to check out as a guest. So I'm going to input a random email address. It's not technically my email address. And then ask for shipping. Let's go ahead and input something here. See if that changes. Okay, that's not my address. I'm just putting this here. Phone number. We can see if a random phone number will work. And now it looks like it's trying to load my shipping method. Okay, great. So I did meet the threshold for the free shipping, so I'm going to choose that. It doesn't give me an expected delivery date, at least not down here. Maybe it does at the top if I scroll through. Continue. Billing. It is taking quite a few seconds to load here. I won't deduct points because it wasn't too long, but that was interesting that it took a little bit longer than I was expecting. Okay, so now this is great. It kind of has its own designated section, which makes me feel like this is a secure form. It also has the lock icon here. We have the payment, credit card badges. Oh, and here we can find they do have an alternate payment method. You can pay through PayPal. They didn't mention that earlier, which a lot of companies do mention that earlier in the shopping cart. Even sometimes they'll mention it in the footer, which I don't think I saw earlier. But that just kind of encourages more people to check out if they're not feeling comfortable with your site yet, at least they know if they go through PayPal that they have a little bit more reassurance that they're paying through a company that they are familiar with. So there's no other trust badges other than that, so we can't give them any points for that. We're not going to go ahead and place the order. Let's see, was there anything else for the checkout? We do have the order summary up here. The item total, free shipping, tax. So the price breakdown is great. And we have the coupon code again and the final order total, which is $306. So I think we kind of checked through all the boxes there. Again, no terms and conditions of the purchase. So that's kind of bringing us to the end here. Let's go back to the main site and look at the last few things before we wrap up here. So let's see, do they have an FAQ page in case I had any questions? I'm not seeing it in their main menu. Let's go back to the footer. It looks like they do have an FAQ page. Again, that's something they may want to consider linking to in their site header, just so that it's more easily accessible to people. This is a little odd. It looks like they have some sort of FAQ system embedded into this page. Let's see what happens if we, yeah, that's what I suspected. It doesn't look like, at least from my desktop computer, that if I were going to be looking at this page on mobile, that it would be very user-friendly. You see here, you have this search bar that is now intersecting the actual pages. So I would definitely go back and check that on mobile and make sure that's not the same case as what's happening here on desktop, and may want to consider having, some sort of FAQ system that is more responsive. But so far they do have one, and that's really all that we're looking for here. We can go ahead and just click something to just kind of see what type of information they have. Look like it's pretty detailed. Just from briefly skimming this here, I don't see anything wrong with this. So we'll go ahead and give them the point for the FAQ, even though there's a few things that could be improved there. The next thing we want to look for is the blog. I did see that under the About Us section. Let's check it out. They do have a somewhat recent post here, December 7th. That was about a month ago, which is okay. I wouldn't say that's too out of date. If it had been like 6 months or more, I'd be a little bit concerned, but that's recent enough for me. They could always have more posts, which would be even better, but not bad. They do look like they have kind of an interesting blog here. And it looks like pretty high quality. So we'll go ahead and give them those 2 points for the blog. And then the last thing I like to take a look at is their social media follower count. It looks like they have somewhat of a different footer here than we were seeing before on the main website. So I want to go back and look at the footer on that we were looking at before. Let's see. Yeah, so this is a different footer here. Let's see how many Facebook followers they have. 30,000. That's a great number for what I would assume is a somewhat smaller business. Let's check Instagram. 65,000, even more. That's awesome. I think they have some great recent content. How about YouTube and Twitter? Let's check those just for the fun of it. Oh yeah, they have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And let's check Twitter. 16,000, so a little bit less than Instagram and Facebook, but overall it seems like they have a pretty decent following. They're definitely active on social and definitely working that channel for them. So just knowing that they have that many people following their accounts, I definitely don't have any doubts now about their legitimacy And I definitely feel comfortable making the purchase now that I know that. So that's it. We've gone through all of our different categories and assigned all the points that we possibly could. When we add up all the points, we get to a total score of 55, which gets them into the likely safe category. Sites in this range do display a strong indication of trust. However, we do recommend that you exercise some caution before making a purchase. We did do a little bit of research as we were diving in there. We looked at a couple of their social media sites, we read some of the reviews, but I'd also recommend looking at an external review site, like possibly Reseller Ratings or Trustpilot, seeing if they have profiles on there, and seeing some externally verified reviews, possibly looking at the BBB website, make sure there's no complaints there. But other than that, I'd say you're pretty good to go. So great job to the Sierra Designs team. So that's it for our first trust evaluation. I hope this helped you get a better sense of what a trustworthy site looks like. And hopefully moving forward, you can work on any areas of your site that you think need improvement. If you'd like us to take a look at your site, feel free to shoot me an email at elise@trustedsite.com with your site URL, and we'll check it out. See you next time.